and a late live stream again. So yeah, just I'll share my information in a minute. Waiting for some people to join the live stream. This stuff, if you have a little owie, really helps. If you have a scrape or abrasion of any sort. Ooh, it's a pretty screensaver. All right. Oh boy. Okay, let's share that information there as usual. Oh, hi, Finesse. How's it going so soon? Hi, Grimy. Hi, Falco. Good evening. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let's share my information really quick, and then we can get started. I've just been playing Tomb Raider. Ooh, and doing chores. My laundry took all day to get done because we had someone come over to fix our dryer, but they didn't really fix it apparently. So we have no hot air or whatever. You know, it's my clothes had to dry on cool, so it took forever. But now we're good. We're good now. All right, let me share my information. How's everybody doing? Okay, so hope you're all having a good day. So my boss of 10 years just passed away. And I have some kind of ripped a big hole. He treated me like family, guys. Not only that, but he let my best friend live in the basement of that cafe so that he didn't have to live on the street. Sorry, I didn't intend to bring that up, but I learned about that recently, so it just keeps coming in waves. Kind of random. Emerald _wing _13473 is my Discord. Instagram is anna.katrina.art, and that's where you can find a lot of my artwork. X, I'm still, just kind of getting started with X or just using it. But we're going to share that too. And Noko. Okay. Yeah, it is what it is. He was about as old as my dad too, so that's makes it hit a little bit harder thinking about that. He smoked and he was very stressed out. He had a lot of stress and he smoked. He had lung cancer. That's when I realized the government doesn't do shit for me. Yeah, I just ignore the people who keep asking if I'm a man or whatever. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so obvious that I'm female, but whatever. Isn't this thing cute, guys? Isn't this the cutest? I'd like to get one in every color. They have 2 purple ones. Here, I can actually show you the other ones. These are just so adorable. They remind me of the little, reminds me of that little critter from Xenogears. That little pink rodent friend that they had at one point. Let me just see if I can show you. What are these even called? Maytree. I like that green one. I think I might. Actually, I think I might get the purple one next if I get another one. I feel like he needs a friend. horsey. Maytree. Huh. Nothing came up. Maytree, huh? Toys? Well, that's kind of strange. I'm not finding it. Maybe if I put in... I did find these while I was looking at BJD dolls, so let me see. BJD. Someone suggested that I try ASMR content. If I do that, I'm gonna just, I don't know, maybe I'll do that on this channel. I don't know if I want to do 2 channels at the same time, but if I do that, I might be more successful. I don't know. But yeah, I'll look for it some other time if I'm not going to find it now. That's weird. Maytree, not showing up. Yeah. Maytree. I'm only seeing backpacks. Very strange. Anywho, enough of that. Your haircut like Abby and Final Sec. It's beauty. Thank you. Thank you, Kurish. Bye, Kurish. Final Sec. I've never seen that. Someone suggested that I watch the movie, and I never saw it until recently, after they sent me the link. The Legend of Billie Jean. It was really good. I can see why they suggested it. Okay, let's see. Abby. Final sec? Scene. Final scene. I think that's what you mean. Ellie or Abby. I see. Totally. Yeah, totally, man. That's me, all right. Ugh. There you go. Looks pretty badass. Is that looks like a video game? Let me see what final scene is. That's a video game, right? I've been having so much fun with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I actually beat one of the bosses the other day, but and it went over to the rolling credits, right? But then afterwards, that they just like crossed off that quest or that mission, and now I can continue the game and do other missions, which I like that. That's what I thought Cyberpunk was gonna be. I thought Cyberpunk would be like you could play corporate, or you could play Streetwise Kid, or you could play Mechanic, I think. And each story would change depending on the dialogue you choose or whatever, but it all merges into the same plot line. It's not what I thought it was, and I don't think it's what it advertised itself to be, which I found to be disappointing. It's one thing if I make a mistake, but it's another thing if they advertise a game to, be something it's not. But it's still one of my favorite games, don't get me wrong. I really, really loved Cyberpunk. That was so much fun. Hey Joshua, it's been a long time since I've seen you. One of my first, I think you might be my first moderator. You, and then there was, I think the one after you was Raid the Ferry, and I can't remember who the third one was. Suboxone, what is it? It's hard to quit as heroin. It's tough. Suboxone's not addictive unless you do it before you ever do opiates. If you do heroin and then you have to take Suboxone to resist cravings, it's not going to be addicting. It's not going to make you feel high. It's just going to make, it's hard for people who don't understand this sort of thing or never had experience with it to understand it. But if you do heroin, you just won't get high from Suboxone. If you're taking it, you know, to resist cravings, all it's gonna do is make it so you're not sick anymore. You're not gonna feel any euphoria, no high. But if you take Suboxone, but without, you know, before you've ever done heroin or anything, if you do Suboxone, you've never taken anything else before, then yeah, you're gonna get high from it, and yeah, it can be addicting in that sense. But it's not addicting for me. Not addicting, you know, because I did heroin for 6 years and I don't get high from the Suboxone. It's hard to explain. Hard to explain. You know, some people just won't understand it. Let me see if Google can give a more concise and scientific answer to that question. Let's see. Can you get high from Suboxone? Okay. However, some people, okay, it's right in the, jumping right into it. However, some people, particularly those who did not previously have OUD, opioid use disorder, abuse Suboxone to get high. Those with OUD may attempt to use Suboxone to experience euphoric feelings. Suboxone is a controlled substance which carries a risk of addiction and dependence, and that is if you haven't done heroin, or you know, you're not trying to get the opioids out of your system. Otherwise, it's not going to make you high. It doesn't make me high. It makes me not sick anymore. It's what my doctor prescribes me. Weaning down from it. They put me on 3 8-milligram strips per day. Now I'm down to like 1 to half of one per day. I've only taken half today, actually. I think video games really helps with that because it distracts me from, you know, I can go all day and then suddenly I start to feel, I mean, even if I'm not playing video games, I don't even think about taking my Suboxone until I start to feel clammy. Those very, very familiar symptoms which occur when you haven't had your opiates or opioids in a while. You know, I get clammy, kind of starts to feel like I got a little cold. It's not pleasant. Then I take some and I just don't feel sick anymore. I like to see you happy. Oh, thank you, Mr. Brightside. I guess we're all chasing that, you know. It'll happen as long as I think positively and I am proactive and apply myself to attaining a better future. Because it becomes a self-fulfilled prophecy. If you tell yourself that things are never gonna be good, that you're just gonna be stuck in a rut, that you're a loser and a failure because of your past decisions, you're not good with money, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's understanding when someone hasn't been good with money if, for a short time, if they've been an addict for a long time and they suddenly, they're saving money and they, you know, make a lot of money all at once. It's like, holy shit, I get to splurge on whatever I want now, and it doesn't have to be drugs, you know, but you got to be careful because one forgets how fast that goes away, you know, how easy it is to completely deplete your account because you're excited about finally getting to have something that's not drugs, you know. It's miserable when your life is nothing but drugs. But we're getting there now. We're getting there. We're picking up momentum. Picking up speed. Made it to 8,000 subscribers, guys. You're beautiful, but you shouldn't have messed up your hair. I mean, that's an opinion, man. I think it looks better on me. And it feels a lot better. Never mind how good I think it looks in many other people. Feels so much better on me. I'm very tactile, guys. I really don't think, unless you're as tactile as I am, I don't think you can possibly understand the dilemma. And I've had this issue with my hair ever since I was 11. Even before then, I wanted short hair. Maybe it's just because I was tactile anyway. I used to chew on my shirt collars and get into trouble for it because I couldn't stand the feeling of any fabric right there. Like, you know, kind of, it was just suffocating, you know? It made me feel claustrophobic having a, you know, fabric around my neck like that. And I never liked wearing necklaces. You see, I never wear necklaces, right? You notice that I never wear necklaces. Anyone who's watched me on my channel for a while, I have necklaces. I wear them sometimes. I typically like to wear necklaces when I have a shirt that, you know, I don't have to feel it on my bare neck. I have a turtleneck or something, then I put a necklace on, then that's fine, or whatever. But yeah, I'm super tactile in that sense. Never liked an elastic band around my waist. I got in trouble for that too. You know, it was like someone thought I was being defiant, trying to be, in her words, different from your other sisters. That's not. It wasn't true at all. I can't stand certain textures. I couldn't. It's hard for me to say this. I don't know how many people have dealt with this. I don't know. My therapist thinks I may have high functioning autism because this is a big symptom of it. But I couldn't wear underwear until I was like 9 or 10. I couldn't stand the texture. I couldn't bear it. And I got bullied relentlessly by the people who should have supported and protected me. Like crazy bullied. In fact, they bullied me well into my late teens because of that. And so, you know, ever since I wore that headgear, and I couldn't bear that either. They got me to the point where I could wear it only at night. And there was this one time when I was 11, and this one thing that happened made me draw the conclusion that that was probably one of the worst years of my young childhood life. So I was sleeping in the living room in a sleeping bag or with a blanket over me. And I had my headgear. I was a good girl. I slept throughout the entire night with my headgear. I can sleep through it, you know? It was more the embarrassment and just being conscious throughout the day wearing that shit. It was a brace that would go around, like it would stick into 2 brackets. You know, you had like these brackets on your molars when you have braces, and this headgear, this brace would go right in, like lock right into it, and it would be attached to your neck like this. There'd be this denim fabric which would get super hot in the summer, make your neck look thicker than it is, and it was just so it was so unbecoming and so uncomfortable, guys. Ever since that thing, I could never stand hair at the back of my neck. But even like if I'm going to sleep now, even when my hair is this short, I have a habit of drawing my hair up like that, and it feels better. Even if I have short hair like this, it's like a phantom hair or something. And yeah, that time I was sleeping in the living room. 5 a.m. I remember it very clearly. It was 5 a.m. in the morning. I took it off for a second just to breathe. And then, lo and behold, Mommy comes walking right out of her room, and then boom, boom, boom. I saw that. Like she thought I was sneaking it back on. Because as a kid, I didn't know any better, right? You know how suspicious this would look. I was completely innocent, but very naive. And I had no idea how guilty I looked. Because I'm that innocent. I'm like putting it back on so she doesn't think that I'm not wearing it. Of course, she saw it and she thought that I was sneaking it back on and that I wasn't wearing it. And I got into so much trouble. Then Grandma knew. Grandma was buying all this for me. Like she was financially supporting my orthodontist appointments and all that. Like, everybody turned against me for a while there. Everyone thought that I wasn't wearing that thing, and it was horrible. Horrible. It is horrible when you're falsely accused of something, especially when you're that young and you don't necessarily can't comprehend what's really going on, you know. But yeah, it's those. I'm very tactile. I have short hair. It's not just for looks. I like the way it looks. I'm very lucky I can pull it off, but it's way, way more comfortable now. I mean, it gets to the point where I'm like, I've had enough. I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors and chop, 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 chop. You know, I just can't take it anymore. You're so cool, girl. I love your hair. Thank you, Warish. 'Cause I'm Mr. Brightside. Dum 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 dum. Thank you, Mikey Dogs. I think, you know, most people think that my hair looks really good. You know? It's okay if it's not for everybody. I don't expect to please everyone. That's no. Suboxone is an opiate with a blocker. Yeah, I mean, exactly. So if you tried doing heroin while on Suboxone, you'd immediately go through precipitated withdrawal. A thing about Suboxone that makes it really very helpful when you're trying to get off heroin, you're not able to go do heroin even if you wanted to, because you know that you're just going to go through withdrawal. You're not going to feel good at all. At all, and it'll last a long time. The pills are stronger than the strip, huh? Probably better for your teeth, too. Which, you know, it's not like buprenorphine. It's not a bad idea for me to ask about it, actually. But I'm almost, you know, I'm close to being weaned off of it. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm doing good. Hi, Lewis. How's it going? Watery eyes. I don't have watery eyes. Maybe earlier because I almost cried a little bit. Then, you know, someone I cared about just passed away, so I didn't mean to bring that up, but I did. Yes, you're right. The wrong mindset can keep you stuck. Indeed. Indeed. I'm getting behind, so I'm going to try to just speed read this and get to the bottom here. A nudist told you something similar about clothes? I don't believe it's the same thing, man. Maybe that's an excuse for someone to say, I want to be a nudist, but unless you're me, you would not understand what it's, or unless you have tactile sensitivity, you wouldn't know what that's like. It's miserable. Most clothing doesn't feel comfortable on me. Like, I mean, not most, but and it's different now that I'm an adult. You know, it's like I wear underwear, and you know, but when I was a kid, it was miserable. Thank you very much, Gabe. Sorry to hear about your loved one. Hugs to you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Do you remember Mila Jovovich's short hair in the movie $1 Million Hotel? I never saw that. Thank you, Falco. Thank you very much. $1 Million Hotel? Let me look that up. People have told me I look like Mila Jovovich a little bit. I take that as a huge compliment. I don't know. I don't know if I look like her. She's has a very unique look to her, but I take it as a compliment. I'll take it. Let me see, Mila Jovovich. Yeah, she's pretty. I saw her in the movie Dummy. It has Adrian Brody in it. Hey, Tony Clifton. Yeah, people get pretty personal, that's for damn sure. I mean, I saw the movie, a movie that was recommended to me, The Legend of Billie Jean. It was so good. It was so good. One of my favorite movies now. Do you remember $1 Million Hotel? You know, the less you give a shit. Oops. The good thing about getting old is that the older you get, the less you care about what complete strangers say about you. It's one thing if someone I love and care about says something about me, then I might even keep me up at night if it's something, you know, depending on who it is, right? If it's someone I really care about and really want to please, really want to make proud, whatever, parent, doesn't matter. You know, if it's someone I care about, I'm gonna be upset and feel bad. But if it's a stranger saying things they don't know what they're talking about, you know, that's just spewing garbage, saying things just to maliciously bring me down, I don't give a singular fuck. I really don't. These people don't affect my life whatsoever. I'm fine. I you know, after this live stream, I do not think twice about these people. It doesn't keep me up at night. Oh, it has Mel Gibson. I see. Oh, cool. I like Mel Gibson. I used to not like him, but then I realized that, you know, they really, after he did The Passion of the Christ, I really looked into this, and, you know, he's not a Jew hater like they tried to paint him. You know, he created The Passion of the Christ, and Hollywood wouldn't have that. You know, they did not want to fund that project. They wanted for it to go down the tubes. They didn't give him anything, but he pursued it, and he became so successful from that. And it was after that that they you know, blacklisted him, and well, I mean, partially it's you know, he's accountable for some of the things, because he got into drinking really bad. He was struggling with alcoholism really, really bad. But they weaponized that to make him seem like he is actually anti-Semitic, and like no one should ever hire him or give him anything. And yeah, but I think he thoroughly redeemed himself. Thank you very, very much, man. Thank you, Astro. Hi, I haven't seen your lives lately. My bad. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day, thank you, you know. I did chores and played some Tomb Raider. Took care of my doggo. And yeah, so it's been good. It's all been good, guys. Just kind of relaxing. Hi, sweetheart. Hope you're having a nice evening. Thank you, Matt. I hope you're doing good. You've got great style. Clothes and hair, genuine look. Thank you, Rad. Radar. I saw that short about the leftovers in gaming. I know. That's just the life, guys. That's just the life. I'm enjoying this game so much. Tomb Raider. The Atlantis one looks like it's gonna be good. I actually like Lara Croft's design a lot more. It's more. She's supposed to look a little bit like Angelina Jolie, guys. I mean, she's supposed to have luscious lips, big tatas. And I like this Tomb Raider from like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. She's really good and all. You know, she's also pretty, but she doesn't necessarily look like Tomb Raider to me, you know? So I'm glad with the new Tomb Raider that's coming out, they're actually making her look like Lara Croft. Like the Lara Croft we all imagine from the original. The original. Okay, so we were looking this up. Can Suboxone get you high? And I was saying that it doesn't get you high if you're doing it as a, like, just as a source of treatment if you're taking it after a heroin addiction. But if you start doing Suboxone with, without any of that, and not to get clean, not to resist cravings, you're just taking it as is, alone by itself, then yeah, it's going to make you high. And I've had that experience. I did Suboxone before someone offered me heroin. Someone offered me Suboxone first, and it made me very high. And then, yeah, the rest is history. Go away, Cara, I don't want you. One of the most common questions people ask when considering medication-assisted treatment, MAT, for opioid use disorder is, can Suboxone get you high? While Suboxone is an effective resource for many battling opioid addiction, it has the potential for diversion abuse when misused or excess. Learn more about Suboxone, including, I've never overused it. Wouldn't want to run out. Suboxone is a controlled substance prescribed to treat people with substance use disorder, particularly those addicted to opioids, including heroin and prescription painkillers, hydrocodone, morphine, oxycodone, and fentanyl. It is one of several intended to be part of a treatment program that includes behavioral therapy and counseling. Suboxone is a combination of two medications, naloxone and buprenorphine. Naloxone reverses opioid overdose and blocks the euphoric effects of other opioids. Buprenorphine helps reduce the effects of dependency, but carries dangerous side effects including dependence, withdrawal, and respiratory issues. Medicinal use of Suboxone. Suboxone is used in medication-assisted treatment. It is approved by the Food and Drug Administration for those who qualify and is administered in controlled doses. Suboxone works by normalizing brain chemistry and blocking the euphoric effects of opioids, but it does not directly affect alcohol's impact on the brain. But it does not directly affect alcohol's impact on the brain. MAT has been proven, that's medication-assisted treatment, has been proven to be effective and significantly decrease the necessity for inpatient detox. Treatment plans, including medication-assisted treatment, are proven to be effective and I accidentally skipped a sentence there. Proven to be effective and MAT has been proven to be significantly effective and decrease the necessity for inpatient detox. Treatment plans, including MAT, are individually tailored to meet the needs of patients, with the goal being complete abstinence from opioids and alcohol. Complications and potential for addiction. Overdosing on Suboxone to get high is dangerous and can cause breathing issues and death. Taking this medication with benzos, alcohol, antidepressants, and tranquilizers can also be fatal. The sublingual film version of Suboxone, which is what I am taking, contains buprenorphine, an opioid partial agonist, which has a lower risk of addiction compared to full opioid agonists, but still carries a risk of dependence. Injecting Suboxone may also cause serious symptoms of withdrawal. When taken in doses and/or frequencies larger or more often than prescribed in order to get high, one can often develop opioid use disorder. Symptoms that one may have opioid use disorder include, but are not limited to, requiring a higher dose to achieve the same results, withdrawal symptoms, including anxiety, irritability, body aches, shaking, sweating, nausea, vomiting, no longer enjoying once pleasurable activities, inability to quit despite failure to function in daily living. Man, I remember that. So miserable. Consuming Suboxone in ways other than intended, such as crushing and grinding, can make the drug less effective. Additionally, stopping suddenly, injecting, or snorting this drug may lead to getting high, followed by withdrawal symptoms. Yeah, precipitated withdrawal. It is important to use Suboxone as it is intended and prescribed. One should never take it without a prescription. Obtaining Suboxone illegally as a street drug can cause complications, as one has no way of knowing where it came from. Yeah, no shit. What drug it actually may be, or how it was made. Suboxone film can be misused in ways similar to other legal and illicit opioids, leading to abuse and dependency. It is made with buprenorphine, a drug used by people who abuse street drugs or prescription medications. Giving this medicine to someone without a prescription can cause serious harm or death to the individual, and is illegal to do so. Using Suboxone without a prescription or in ways other than intended can lead to getting high and developing opioid use disorder. When administered in a medical setting, chances of abusing this drug are lower than if one were to attempt to use it at home. Taking this medication not as advised and without proper medical supervision can be life-threatening and cause legal issues if possessed or distributed improperly. Due to the potential for abuse, it is advised that the drug be kept away from kids, of course, away from anyone who might use it for recreational purposes. So, I mean, there's more about this. Can you get high from Suboxone if you've done heroin? Yeah. Anywho, I'm sorry you went through that, man. You were a victim of Big Pharma, plain and simple. Oh, Oscar. I had a back injury at work, and that's how I became addicted to oxys. I never understood that addiction until it happened to me. Yeah. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. That's how a lot of people become opioid addicts. It's like they get into an accident, car accident, whatever, and then you have to be put on these painkillers at the hospital. And then if your insurance can't cover it, then you resort to street drugs because they're cheaper. Yeah, it happens to so many people. In fact, that might be how most people become heroin addicts. I'm not sure if that's the case, but let me look this up. How do most people become heroin addicts? That seems like a very common occurrence. I'm really sorry that happened to you, man. Back injuries are the worst. Grok says Suboxone is working like a drug in you. What? And you likely have no opioid tolerance that warrants Suboxone use. Only 30% of people continue to use it after 3 years. Well, the Suboxone is an agonist, like I just read right there. It prevents you from having cravings from heroin, which are dangerous, which can make you relapse. Heroin can kill you. And it makes it so that you don't, I'm not going to have to go through withdrawal. That's dangerous. If you just stop doing Suboxone cold turkey, it can affect you for the rest of your life. It can actually have permanent health effects. I know someone who did that, and they regret it immensely. You have to take it as prescribed by your doctor if you were a heroin addict, and you're doing it to stop cravings and withdrawal symptoms. That's it. It's necessary. It is absolutely necessary. And I know ignoramuses are going to be judgmental, you know, and they're going to try to shame you and shame you and shame you so that you feel like you're doing something wrong when you're just doing exactly what your doctor is telling you to do. Because, you know, if you cared to do any fucking research, you would know that it is very necessary for someone with opioid abuse disorder, someone who's done heroin for 6 years, to do Suboxone for you know, and to wean down from it. And they're probably going to put me on Sublocade, that once a month shot, and then I'll be smooth sailing. But you have no idea how dangerous that is. Just, you know, you're just spreading bullshit, man. You're gonna look up Grok and take their word for it. Good Lord. Guess Grok's experiences matter more than mine. Stupid. What the hell, man? Grok says working like a drug in you. Okay. Isn't everything working like a drug in you? Isn't everything? We want to be careful about how we word things, man, because it can be dangerous. You might make someone feel very ashamed of using it. Like, oh, I'm just a failure junkie still, man. I'm you know, no one's gonna ever respect me unless I just completely go cold turkey. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. It's dangerous. Victim of Big Pharma. I agree, Lewis. Big Pharma wants to make us into forever patients. Exactly. Exactly. And that could apply to so many things we're seeing today. Ozempic. Transitioning children. Turn them into forever patients. I don't intend to be on Suboxone forever. I've weaned down significantly. I'm not addicted to it. I don't feel like I'm on a drug. I feel like I'm taking like it has the same exact effect in me as it would, like if I had a headache and I took some Tylenol and my headache went away. That's it. That's exactly what it's like for me. But if you've never done opioids or opiates, then if you do Suboxone, then yes, it is going to work like a drug. And yes, that is dangerous. And yes, you shouldn't be doing that. But if you've been a heroin addict for 6 years, then it's very necessary to find something that's going to suppress those cravings. Because it's intense. People don't get it unless they've at least experienced it or have enough, you know, empathy or whatever to listen to those who've actually experienced it and to, you know, not poo-poo them and dismiss them, you know. Stupid junkie, what do you know? Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Number one, anyone can become an addict. Just because someone did drugs at one point in their life doesn't make them a forever loser. Though I know people would like to weaponize that, use it against me, discredit me, make me seem like I'm an idiot in every situation where they want to win the argument. You know? You're nothing but a junkie cunt. You know? One person said that. All because they were offended by I don't know what. Yeah, I take just one strip or just half of one per day, you know? They used to have me on 3 of them. Kratom still keeps the dependency going if you are already addicted to opiates. People still go through withdrawal. Yeah, and you do not want to take kratom if you're on Suboxone because that'll make you go through precipitated withdrawal. Suboxone saves lives. It does. It's not perfect, but it fucking saves lives. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you for a month or 2. Girl, I have to be honest, you aren't looking good. What happened? I'm sorry, Mandy. How am I not looking good? I'm not wearing makeup right now. Usually I wear makeup on my streams. I'm not wearing makeup because it's getting late. I'm not wearing makeup. Maybe it's the color I'm wearing. Maybe the color kind of drains the color from my... I'm not sure. Maybe it washes me out, that color. I don't think so. I think that's fine color. I cut my own hair. Some people don't like that. I'm tired. I haven't been getting much sleep. So yeah, you pair like me not wearing makeup and being tired, then yes, then, you know, maybe I look like shit. Sorry. But it's good to see you, Mandy. Or, you know, I see your profile pic. You look really pretty. The Tylenol and Oxy can kill people very easily. Don't die doing stupid crap. Try to follow God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I mean, you can only get so far, and then you're craving heroin again and going... If you just quit... Guys, please just listen to me. If you quit Suboxone cold turkey, it's going to cause permanent bodily harm. I know someone personally who did that, and they're not going to be the same. There's something to your fucking bone marrow. I forget exactly what it was. But it's not good. I don't want to feel like I'm 90 when I'm 40. Thank you very much. But yeah, I need to get better sleep, guys. These days, I tend to fall asleep at like 4 a.m. And then I wake up at like noonish. So yeah, I need to get better sleep. The problem with drugs is you tell people to do X times a week, this amount, most people do more. Well, that's the thing though with Suboxone, they give you a specific amount. And okay, so no, unless you lie to them, you know, and tell them that you need more than you really do, then you're still kind of, you know, taking what you ask for, which is more than you need. But I take one per day. I don't feel a need to take any more. It tastes like absolute shit, by the way. That repels me, the taste. I don't even know how to describe that taste. It is nasty, you know? And it stays, you know, you gotta let it dissolve, otherwise it doesn't really work. And it takes forever for that thing to dissolve, you know? Excuse me, I'm tired. Good God. Yeah, God, guys. I'm tired. I guess it really just all of a sudden hit me now. You know how, like, when you don't get enough sleep, sometimes you feel like you've got so much energy, and then all of a sudden, it's like it just hits you at once. That's what's happening to me right now. Last time I went to the... by the way, going back to that comment about my health, I appreciate your concern. I really do. But last time I went to the doctor, they ran my blood test, checked my thyroid and all that, and they told me that I'm just normal levels. Everything's just good. So, I mean, I've always been pretty skinny, if that's what people are talking about. But I'm also fucking tired. I wouldn't be surprised if I look like shit right now. No energy. But yeah, I mean, if you take more Suboxone than what you're prescribed, then they're not gonna give you more. You're gonna have a whole, like, gap of time without it, and you're gonna go through withdrawal. If you go one day without it, you're gonna be in a huge panic simply because you're gonna get sick, and you're gonna be out of commission, and it's gonna be painful and bad for you. It's not like heroin withdrawal where you can get through it and, you know, it's going to be very painful, but you're not going to be permanently affected afterwards. You know, you're going to be weak as a kitten for a while, but, you know, it's over when it's over. It's not like that. If you quit Suboxone cold turkey, it's going to permanently damage your body. So just proceed with caution. If you're ever, you know, if you're getting off heroin or whatever, and you want to, oh, I take something that'll help with cravings. It might help. I have back problems from working in a woolen mill, so I take oxycodone for 7 days and I'm off the next 7 days. That's interesting. I've never heard of it being taken like that. Well, people can be ignorant, man. Just listen to your medical professional and do read some legitimate research. Be aware of, you know, the fact that Big Pharma does try to sell us. I've only taken half of one today, early this morning, so it's probably about time that I take some. The first symptoms actually are sneezing. I haven't sneezed yet. Yawning, but could also be the fact that I have only gotten a few hours of sleep. But I better go and take the other half of mine, because I don't want to get sick. And I'm not doing it on camera, because that would be, I don't think that's allowed. I don't think that's allowed at all, guys. And then you can judge for yourselves and see whether or not you think I'm getting super, super high, because guess what? That's just not accurate. No, that's not gonna happen. Don't worry. Okay. I got 120 a month from the doc. I blew through that and would buy more. 1 week, nobody had them. So I would switch to heroin. My body couldn't switch back. Yeah, that's not good. I can't... Maybe it's just because I've never exceeded really the amount that my doctor prescribed me. Maybe a tiny bit one time. But it never once made me high after my heroin addiction. So I just don't know. It's been a while since Suboxone. I could get that from Suboxone, which I wouldn't do that. It's not a good idea. But I'm sorry that it happened to me. I know someone that happened to them too, and this is the very same person who tried to go cold turkey on Suboxone, and it negatively, permanently affected them. You know, it was like they ran out, they used way too much of their Suboxone. So they were abusing their Suboxone. This is someone that someone close to me knows personally. So they did this so that they wanted to get more from the doctor. So they demanded more Suboxone from their doctor. And the doctor just said, no, we're not giving you any more. So they cut off his Suboxone entirely. He went ballistic. He went right over and relapsed. He just did heroin. That's, you know, it's dangerous. It's very, very fragile. You have to be careful, because you could relapse, and relapsing on heroin is worse than weaning down from Suboxone. It can save lives. You gotta use, you know, you can't abuse that shit, man. I know it's hard. I know what it's like to be an addict, but it's, you're not gonna be a happy camper in a few days after that. Grok says to drink weed, probably. I've always wanted to try Grok, though. I mean, they can give pretty interesting answers to questions. I've seen Asmongold use it. Let's keep the drug advice to the medical professionals, please. Exactly. People just like to tell you you're wrong all the time. See, they thought, it's funny how they resort to trying to, just insult you. They tell you, oh, you're triggered because someone's questioning your Suboxone. No, I'm trying to keep people safe. I care about facts. I care about actually being effective in getting clean from heroin. It's dangerous. And I'm telling you, my experiences of people I know, and the fact that it has saved lives. I'm not taking it because it's funsies. I think that's very insulting. People will often try to discredit and dismiss your journey and the struggles you've gone through just because you're being prescribed something medically. That's just very insecure people. It's probably a dude. Probably hates to see that a woman's capable of overcoming something that perhaps he couldn't. Makes him feel very bitter and insecure, probably. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. How long have I been on it? Like a week after I stopped doing the heroin. So, I started weaning down like half a year ago, I think. So it's been about 3 years. Longer than I would have liked. But I'm doing whatever it takes to not relapse on heroin. I don't crave heroin. The only problem with drugs is criminalizing it. If everything would be legal, we wouldn't see these poor fentanyl-addicted homeless people. Yeah, there's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of judgment. People like to, mog you, basically. They think they're mogging you. It's like, oh, look at this irresponsible person. I'm just going to stand right next to them and look how much better I am than this person, guys. A bunch of narcissists. Suboxone, just Narcan and ketamine mixed better to do methadone program. It binds to your receptor, blocks opioids, but still allows mild trip to help withdrawals. You are a loved host of this show. Thank you, Taha. I don't feel bad at all about taking oxycodone. Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You're taking it to get well. And these ignoramuses are just low IQ, smooth-brained fucking imbeciles. And they're very insecure. And they have to put other people down in order to make themselves feel bigger. Android, don't ever let people tell you you can't quit if you want to. You can do it. I was a heroin addict for 6 years, guys. I've been clean for 3.5 years. And I think that's a big achievement. And people can say whatever the fuck they want. I know where I stand. And I know where these little tiny people stand too. They're not worth it. My apologies, are you a girl or just very young? I'm a girl. I'm 35 years old. I'm 35 years old, Dynamite. I'm a 35-year-old woman. 2 X chromosomes, wide hips. Not every woman looks the way they do in your favorite cornos, by the way. I know it's hard for a lot of chronically online men to comprehend that. I've been on the Suboxone shot for 3 months after 20 years of opioids and Suboxone. I'm currently writing this while under the influence of forehead velocity. Don't sell yourself short. Yeah, 20 years, man, that's insane. Well, I see that as a big achievement, Nathan. And I have no problem with LSD, to be honest. It might not be good for everybody. Some people might go, people with schizophrenia, I don't know how it's going to affect them, or, it's just, we all have different brain chemistries and how we handle things, but I always handled LSD pretty damn well. Good job, lady. You're doing good. A good job speaking the... Oh. I had... Someone just blocked a message and it cut me off there. Okay, there we go. Good job, lady. You are doing a good job speaking the truth about what's going on to America. Keep up the good work, lady. May God bless you and hope you feeling better when you get off the medicine you're taking. Absolutely. Thank you, Joseph. And's a woman. That's right, Miss. And man, I feel like a woman. Dun, 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 dun. Man, Pigeon was such an ignorant butthole. It's been so long since you've done heroin. You are like a person who would just get high from Suboxone. What a dumb fuck. Methadone completely depletes the calcium in your bones too. In fact, I think it's worse. I've never taken it personally, but the reason for that is because I had a friend who was on heroin for 41 years, and it ultimately led to their death. But they didn't OD. They had multiple cancers ravaging their body, including oral cancer. Well, they told me that they did methadone once. They had to stand in line at the clinic or in the early morning hours. And he said that every single person over the age of 30 or 40 was on crutches. So I'd rather be able to move and walk and, be efficient and not have to worry about that. That's why I don't intend on being on Suboxone forever. And guess what? Some people who've dealt with addiction like I have get on Suboxone and they're on it forever. I don't intend for it to be like that. People can be ignorant. Whatever. I've taken methadone many times. It's a good euphoria. Yeah, I've never taken that. Ask your doctor about Sublocade. Yeah, that's actually in the plans. That's in the books for later. For when I wean down from the Suboxone, they're going to put me on Sublocade afterwards. Being a Suboxone addict doesn't erase your battle against heroin. Well, it surely does not. But I'm not addicted to Suboxone. I take only the prescribed amount from my doctor, and I take it and I wean down. I take as little as I possibly can to not get sick. That's it. And I don't care if you don't believe me. I couldn't care less. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You have no effect in my life. I'm not talking to you per se. I'm you plural. Anyone who's gonna judge me for that's fucking ridiculous and fucked up. I'm talking to lawyers right now because sub companies have no warning against the teeth destruction. You can get money for the damage. I should do that because they put me on Suboxone in 2021. Then I relapsed after a month, and then I went back on it in 2023. But there was still the doctors never told me about that. They never told me that about the teeth, even then, even after the fact. So God, I forget about these things. I need to write it down. Call a fucking lawyer. I need to call a lawyer. What lawyer would you what, Morgan & Morgan? What would you suggest? Yeah. Anne's been through this shit, as long as she knows what's up. I do. Yeah, well, I have a lot more respect for someone who says I haven't lived through addiction, so I have no idea, I have no say in this. I have massive respect for someone who says that, rather than just pulling shit out of their ass and judging people and saying, you should do this, you should do that, when they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. You look pretty, Ann. Thank you, Miss. I'm an alcoholic at PTSD and substance abuse program in San Diego. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mike. That's good for you. That's the good first step right there. I know it's rough. Yep, we grow older and wiser, and we leave that stuff behind, and we begin to realize the things in our lives that actually mattered way more. It's difficult, especially when you want to escape, especially when you lose a loved one, you know, it's especially when you've endured abuse or whatever. It's hard, but it's all that shit at the same time. You know, things will get better if you go in that direction. You know, there's a song by Willie Nelson that I really like called Across the Borderline. It's a very sweet and touching song that I think would be applicable to this topic of discussion. Thank you very much for the star. Appreciate that very much. Sorry, I'm gonna stop being so behind in the chat too. Hey Joel, good night, Ann. Get some sleep. That's a good idea. I do need to do that. So we're gonna probably just have a short live stream. Maybe about 2 hours instead of the usual 3 or 4. But 1 more hour, maybe, or less. Maybe a little less than that. But please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Let's make up for all that lost time. I don't know, do what you want to do. I appreciate you guys being here. You're welcome, no problem. Keep up the channel. Thank you, Breaking the Matrix. Oxy is a bitch. Short acting so it's fiendish. Get on something with a longer half-life so you can sleep and wean down. Yeah, that's what I'm doing with the Suboxone. It's been very effective in that regard. I'm doing a great job with it. My doctors are impressed. I'll just leave it at that. I'm 50 and been an addict for over 31 years. Anything that gets you a day away from DOL. Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. It's damage control. The heroin will absolutely ruin your life. Subs really don't get you high unless you have literally no tolerance. Exactly! That's exactly what I'm saying to these kids. Subs really don't get you high unless you have literally no tolerance. And even then it sucks if you're trying to get high. Suboxone is a partial agonist. Just keeps people from being sick. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, fucking thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my fucking God, thank you. I don't like saying God's name in vain like that, but god damn, it's frustrating trying to get it through these thick skulls we have here. Thank you, transphobe. You're awesome. Lots of people think they know the ways to cure everyone. I know, right? Just big ignoramuses. You have no idea how stupid they sound. Hey, Anne, looking good tonight, sweetie. Oh, thank you very much, Donnell. It's good to see you, by the way. It's been a while. With all respect, you do look good, though. You remind me of Sarah Connor from Terminator Loki. A lot of people say that. I take it as a compliment. I haven't found one yet, but there are specialized lawyers that do that directly, just looking online and make calls and judge who you're talking to after that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get scammed. Call multiple lawyers? Okay. Okay, I'll keep note. Because, man, I gotta get crowns now. I don't even know what teeth are gonna change exactly, man. Just the idea that they're gonna basically whittle my teeth down to a stub and then stick and I can't afford porcelain, so my insurance only covers stainless steel. And they're gonna give me stainless steel molars, I think. I'm definitely getting molars. Probably where the cavities are. That's just my molars. I've never had a cavity before, first time. Sucks. You have a subscription. I'm interested in your life. Thank you, Breaking the Matrix, and welcome. That's what I'm doing with Suboxone. It really isn't rewarding to take. No high. It literally just keeps you from being sick. Exactly, transphobe. Fucking A. Yes. Duh. You know, but people, man, they don't listen to us. They don't. They're unreasonable. They don't care. Fuck. They don't care about how we, whether we feel well or not. They just want to judge. They just want to feel superior to everybody else. It's great to see you are trying to get life together, and you are brave. Thank you, Breaking the Matrix. Every time I ask my doctor about getting off, he tells me I'll relapse. What an asshole. You know, that's the thing, it makes it so I don't really trust doctors much of the time when they insist on keeping you on without any other suggestions or ways to try to wean down or whatever. Like, my doctor and I are heavily discussing weaning down all the time and like what we're gonna do in the next step. What's the next step? What's the next step? If it seems like your doctor's just trying to keep you stagnant and keep you using that shit and not getting off of it, that's disconcerting, man. That just makes me think you should get a different opinion, Don't ask one doctor all the questions. Get multiple opinions from various professionals. Cause yeah, I mean, people will use you as a cash cow in that system. It's not good. The bottom line should be you getting better. I wish you well in your recovery, dear. I definitely understand. I appreciate you very much, transphobe. That's very validating. It's, when people are just like, I train you like you're a dumb fucking junkie liar. Which, I wasn't a liar when I was a junkie, but I've lied about my use before when I was deep in that shit. It hurts when people treat you that way, like you're nothing but a weasel fiend. Nothing you say can be taken seriously. These people, they want for other people to turn against you too. They're just mean, really mean people. It just makes you not sick, nor want you to do it, I believe. Yep, precisely. Doesn't make you high when your tolerance is at a certain point. And it doesn't matter how long you've been without heroin, man. I mean, I don't know how if I'd get high from Suboxone now if I were to like suddenly get on it, because like 3 years after quitting heroin and I just went cold turkey, didn't take anything to help myself, and then I was like, oh dear, I'm dealing with cravings, I think I'm gonna relapse, I'm gonna go to the doctor and get Suboxone now. I don't know if I'd get high if I did that, but I've been taking it for 3 years. Of course I'm not going to get fucking high from it. And that was after my heroin addiction. But yeah, people aren't going to choose not to understand it. People are willfully ignorant and very disrespectful. Everyone is different and needs different perspectives and opinions on different meds. I agree. People think in black and white terms, or whatever makes them feel good. Someone looking like Sarah Connor. Hell yeah, thanks, Jim Jones. I get that so much on my live streams. People tell me I look like her a lot. Haha, yes. Keep up. Thanks. Keep up the good work. Suboxone is the best bet when you're actually trying. You can easily wean down compared to other stuff. I take 1/8 of what they prescribe. Yep. I agree. Do you cut your own hair? I do. I do, and I think I did a damn good job. Put a little bit of product in there just to kind of give it a little more oomph. Methadone stays in your bones, though. She's on a better pill. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a class action lawsuit against Suboxone because it causes serious dental problems. Exactly. That's why, yeah, that's what someone brought up earlier, and that they're looking for lawyers. That's what I'm probably going to do, actually. I probably regret it if I don't do that. I could use that shit. I mean, I could fucking use that money, so I'm going to do that. I'm so going to do that. Just you wait. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who I can get a hold of. It really is frustrating when people call us addicts when we literally never get high. We just haven't been in a place yet to miss work or be out of commission for a month. Exactly. Suboxone user here, 3 years in. Likewise. Likewise. Look at Tom Petty. He had a complete break in his pelvis, and they prescribed him 2 different forms of fentanyl and oxycodone. Now he's dead. Seriously? I didn't know that's what happened to him. I had no idea that that's what happened to him. I'll look that up. My doctor doesn't even come to the office. It's a tablet, and he calls it. Asks what pharmacy. End of appointment. Then on the off months, he calls my phone and does the same. It's a racket to them, not to us. Yeah. Exactly. You're the most important person in the world other than family to get better. Well, yeah, I mean, we gotta do it for ourselves. Otherwise, we ultimately fail, you know? We can't take care of other people. We can't pay it forward. We can't do any of that unless we take care of ourselves. I can't think about having my own family and having my own kids one day if I don't take care of myself and make myself better. And that's just a fact. Doesn't make you selfish. There's nothing wrong with being selfish in certain contexts. And if you're getting off of drugs like that, drugs that completely consume you and take you away from everything in life that matters, then fucking A. You have to work on healing your brain and your dopamine and your body and all that. It's like if you're in the hospital, you know, all tubed up and everything, what are you gonna do? Get out of the hospital bed, go home and do dishes for mom? Or whatever? No. You're gonna take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you're gonna die. And you're not gonna be able to do anything for anybody. Her name's Anne. She's dope AF. She gives advice, helps people become clean from hardcore drugs. Thank you, Mez. That's right. At least I try to inspire and encourage people. We talk about other things too because we're more than our addictions. We talk about my art. You can check out some of my art on my Instagram. I do oils and watercolors. Anywho, talk about video games and cooking. Sometimes I cook on my live streams. It's kind of all over the place. And we read the Bible at the end, but for the most part, we would talk about addiction and stuff like that. Depends on the mood, I guess. My insurance covers mine, yeah, Oscar. Yeah, my insurance covers my Suboxone. If I take more than what's prescribed to me, though, I have to pay extra. Narcan is not an enabler. That saves lives. Without Narcan, people would die from an overdose, you fucking moron. It's not an enabler. What, you think people should just die and then they wouldn't be enabled because they'd be dead? Fucking retard. I'll be right back. And there, you can see the profile pic. It's legitimately an old man saying this. You know, someone who should know better. Narcan's an enabler. Narcan's an enabler. Lenny likes big mice. I'm a dumb shit. Good Lord. Ugh. Ew, look at that face. Anyway. You're absolutely right. I subbed. No pun intended. Thank you, transphobe. I appreciate that very much. It's good to have you here. Your hair looks exactly like mine, I swear. It's like God used the same hair settings for you. I just cut my own hair, you know, and what I do is I just like, I don't cut a whole bunch off at once because I might go too, you know, I don't want to fuck it up or get a bald spot. So I just go like snip, snip, snip. I snip like the hair that's going through my fingers. Like snip, snip, snip. I never go under. I just go snip, 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 all around until it's even. Until I like it. Until it's parted well too. See, I think that looks very nice. I refuse to carry Narcan. Peace out. Well, you're a moron. Narcan's not a drug. It isn't an addictive drug. It's a little spray thing that you put up someone's nose and then they won't die from ODing. But you're a moron. Be a moron if it makes you feel comfortable. You know, ignorance. Yeah, Dunning-Kruger. What was that? What was that effect? The Dunning-Kruger effect? Yeah, you're so dumb you don't know how dumb you are? Probably. Is it the Dunning-Kruger effect? Is that what it's called? I know that there's Dunning. I'm not sure if I have Kruger, if it's Kruger. Let me see. This guy probably has the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yep. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability, expertise, or knowledge in a specific domain greatly overestimate their own competence. Formalized by psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999, it also describes how high performers tend to slightly underestimate their relative skills. Yeah. I mean, I've only ever underestimated my skills. But I can only imagine, you know, what a life it would be if you just thought you were good at everything, but you're really just a moron and you don't know anything. Good God, man, what a way to live. Amin says he made me. What the fuck? No, you didn't. Do I approve Trump? Yes, I do. What happened to my hair? I cut it. Addicted to donuts? You know, Once you stop eating sugar, man, those sugar cravings just go away, and you smell something like a Krispy Kreme donut, it just overwhelms your senses. But I remember we used to go for Krispy Kreme donuts after church when I was a kid, and man, they had really good banana fritters when they were hot and fresh. And their original donuts, just the glazed donuts, oh my God. I remember how good those are. But I could never, I could probably have half of one of those. But I can't take that much sugar anymore. Using opiates once you're hooked is a long road to recovery if ever it is. But it's, recovery's possible. You have to want it. You have to find something outside yourself that's larger. Something else in life to give your time to. And we all have different circumstances in our lives, Some people, their family might be on that shit, and it might be hard because they're always like influencing them and making it hard for them to think outside of that cesspool of toxicity. You know how like certain families can be, and I've seen it where like families will enable their kids to do drugs because they do drugs. I'm not in that situation. But I'm saying, like, I empathize with and I can totally understand people who are in that situation. That would make it way harder. Yeah, we have different circumstances. That's why you gotta break free, and you have to find a different environment, and you have to do it for yourself because there's a better future ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. Ultimately, it comes down to your decision, no one else's. Yeah, seeking help really helps. Absolutely, I agree, Lewis. There's more to life than alcohol. Please seek help. Many of us have been through what you've been through precisely. I had a really good counselor. I don't know if I'd be here without him, to be honest. But you have to want it, and you have to seek help. I know it's hard. I know some of us, like myself, are very introverted and kind of closed off and withdrawn. But you gotta do it for yourself, man. You gotta open up. If you want change, you gotta step out of your comfort zone. Don't stay strong, don't give up. From Michigan, sending love. Good night. Hey, you have a good night too, Nags or Scott. You're cute. Thank you, Bio. T. Crick. Leo, you also looks like a blonde from the show. What show? Wait. Okay. Thank you. I did manage to quit subs one time successfully by cutting 1 milligram off my dose every month. Super slow, yeah. Then when I got to sub-milligram levels, I'd cut it in half every month. Eventually, I had to jump. I hear ya. Yeah, it takes a while. But if it keeps you from relapsing on heroin, then it is absolutely worth going through that. Yep, no one's gonna do it for you. And accountable women, very cool. Yeah, I've heard this thing going around where people think that women don't generally take accountability. I think that liberals don't generally take accountability. Most married women, and I'm not married, I'm one of the rare exceptions in this case. But I would like to be, I'd like to meet someone good, it's just kind of happenstance. I gotta be less reclusive. But I mean, yeah, I've known men who certainly do not take accountability. And it's not just liberals, it's just people. Some people just don't take accountability. I know boomers don't take accountability a lot. You notice that? Notice that a lot of boomers, not all boomers, some boomers are cool, but some boomers just do not take accountability. Oh my God, they don't. And it's men and women, you know? In fact, I know more men in my life who just like allergic to accountability. It's not I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's, I think it's just an insecurity thing, you know? Not being able to admit when you're wrong. Your ego takes a front seat. And I know, like, I always thought it was more stereotypical for men to struggle with their egos than women. But yeah, I can always admit when I'm wrong. I don't struggle to take accountability because that's the only way one moves forward. Also, people will respect you more if you take accountability. If you can't take accountability, people aren't going to trust you. They're not going to respect you. You know, that's another thing. There are a lot of good reasons to take accountability. You know, you can get a lot of good out of taking accountability. It might hurt at first. It doesn't feel comfortable saying you're wrong about something. I admitted when I was wrong, when I was moderate liberal or whatever for like 10 years. I didn't know any better. And then I saw, you know, I was afraid of losing friends too. But then I started really just thinking for myself. And I was wondering, why does everyone hate this man so much? Why does the left hate Trump so much when you could look at their side and see so many depraved and heinous figures? They don't say a word about these people. And it seems like no matter what good Trump does, they hate him even more for it. And despite all the debunked lies, all these lies being debunked, evidence to back it up, they still repeat these lies. And I started questioning these things. And I admitted that I had Trump derangement syndrome. And that it's important for us to talk about this. And talk about all this hate that they're accusing the conservatives of, but it's really on their side for the most part. But I lost a family member when I did that. She told me I was a danger to my family, one of my cousins, who was really close to me at one point. And there was that. I lost friends, saying everything I feared. But a weight lifted from my shoulders significantly, and I wouldn't change a thing. They're not real friends. They never were. They're worse than fair weather friends. I'd rather keep my integrity intact than keep trying to please and impress and seek validation from people who couldn't give less of a singular fuck about me. And what, you know, even when I was merely questioning things, they couldn't come at me diplomatically and try to explain, like, what my, you know, to go through it with me or whatever. No, it was, you're a danger to your family, big paragraph. I couldn't read the whole paragraph. I wanted to keep my mental state intact and healthy. It was just all bullshit. You're a danger to your family. That's all I needed to read for me to be like, no, I'm not even gonna finish this. Especially because they blocked me before I could even respond. So what makes all this bullshit worth my time? I know they're wrong. I know where I stand. I'm tired of it. Tired of all this hatred. Interesting that the party that supported racism and wanted to keep it around when the Republicans a long time ago abolished racism, this same party, they call everybody else racist, but they are the most racist people ever. They infantilize minorities. They try to appeal to minorities just so they can get a vote. They don't care about minority rights or safety. And in fact, they don't care about women's rights and safety. They don't care about the gang rapes that are happening to women, as long as they can get more votes from all these people, illegal immigrants coming in and raping women. They don't have any problem with that because they get more votes. If they can get more votes, then women can all go to hell and die. They pretend to care about women. They don't. They pretend to care about minorities. They don't. But we do. We talk about making black impoverished neighborhoods safer, and they think that's racist. They think they're so sugar-coated racist that they think that black people want to live like that. It's disgusting. Oh, transphobe. I'm heading to bed. I'm glad I ran across your stream. I believe I saw you once before, but you had long hair. You look great. You're strong as hell. You're blessed. And you're gonna live. You're gonna win. I appreciate that very much, transphobe. They have no idea how much that means to me. You have a good night, though, okay? I'm happy for everyone who beat the addiction, but when you're done with life, it's hard to care anymore. Yeah, it is. Exactly. And that's kind of what drove me to the edge and made me just say, hey, give it to me when it was offered to me. Because, yeah, like, people I cared about died, and I had never been in an abusive relationship. I didn't know what any of this, like, psychology speech was. Like, no one talked about love bombing. No one talked about narcissism. No one talked about... now people overuse it, and they make those words seem empty in many cases. And when you call everybody a narcissist, then nobody's going to be a narcissist. Same with calling everybody a Nazi. It completely takes away the seriousness of that word. But anyway, yeah, like, back then, I went through a lot, guys. I really did. I don't want to talk about that, but, hey, we need to have more compassion for people who become addicts, because there's always a story behind it. And I'll just say that I was 26 when I did that. When I was 20, I never would have conceived of the idea. I didn't even want to smoke weed. I was like, I'm not, I'd rather be reading and feeding my brain and being, doing things that are going to exercise my mind rather than become lazy and addicted to substances. But I buckled, I gave in when things got really, really tough. Hey, Ann. Hope you're doing okay, looking beautiful as always. Thank you, One Bang Naps. I got into it because of doctor's mistake plus an illness. I think that's a lot of cases, too. I believe you 100%. That's a lot of people deal with that. Like I said, they'll put you on painkillers because you could be in any accident. You could have whiplash and they'd put you on meds. And then next thing you know, you're an opioid addict because you can't. And then they'll take you off of it. Your insurance doesn't cover it. And then you got to go buy the street stuff because you're miserable. You don't want to be in pain anymore. I get that. I empathize with it 100%. Tom Petty had acetylfentanyl and dyspropanol, fentanyl, and oxycodone in his system. Oh man, that's rough. Doesn't surprise me. Wonder what Prince had in his system too. You ever think that maybe these people were fed all these drugs at the very last minute in order to just end them? Like, I find a lot of these celebrity deaths very suspicious. Because Prince was a whistleblower. Whitney Houston, I think she went against Clive Davis. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. That's alleged. I have to look into that again. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these are super suspicious. I honestly don't think any of them are by accident. Like, why do they all die in the bathtub? Like, so many of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Just because they have a lot of alcohol in their system doesn't mean that it was administered by their own hand alone. Could mean that someone kept feeding it to them. Because that would be the smart thing to do if you wanted somebody to die. And honestly, I don't trust it. I think these people were murdered. Probably. Likely. That's what I think. A lot of these people died very suspicious deaths. I'm not talking about insurance covering the prescription itself. I'm talking about the doctor's visit to get the prescription. Does everyone's insurance cover that part? I have to pay $150 cash every month. I don't, myself. If I have a doctor's appointment, insurance covers it. Got it, you know. I get my prescribed meds every month. My insurance covers it. My insurance covers a lot of things, you know. Could just be the fact that I don't really make much money, you know. That could be it. I'm not sure. Narcan is an antagonist, literally the opposite of the kind of opioids that get you high. How does that enable? Exactly, transphobe. That person was a moron. And oof, I paid $285 per month for the appointment, plus $80 for the generic sub pills. Night. Hey, you have a good night too. I'm just in a state of not caring anymore. I don't have anything to give me a purpose anymore. Left the military and everything just came undone. I get that, Jaren. I'm struggling with feeling like I don't have much of a purpose myself, so I totally get that. I think that's one of a major culprit. That just feeling like you have no purpose. I think that's a major reason for why a lot of people become addicts. They don't feel like they have any purpose, no direction to go in. That's why it's common for people in their mid-20s to fall into it, just like I did. You know, you're lost and you don't know what to do. I fucking get it, man. So I try to find purpose. You know, I have purpose in the caring of my dog. I have a dog. My dog gives me purpose. Taking care of my family, that gives me purpose. My painting gives me purpose. These live streaming, helping you, talking with you guys, and hopefully being of some help. And people tell me that it's helpful. It gives me purpose, you know? I'm sure there's something out there for you, man, that can give you a sense of direction and purpose. It's very important, especially for someone who has a tendency, when they get bored, to do dangerous things, like I did. My profile picture is a lake dinosaur attacking a woman on a raft for food. That's awesome, man. I want to see that. Let me see if I can enlarge that. Oh man, I can't. Hey, but at least I can take a screenshot and zoom in. It's probably gonna be really blurry though. That's hilarious, Matthew. Don't let them wind you up, and they're losers, yeah. Yep, Narcan's just a cure for opioids. It rips opioids off your brain's opioid receptors and you go into withdrawal. Exactly. Let's just let people be fucking morons, you know. We can only try to educate them as much as possible, but if they don't want to listen, that's on them. It's not on us. It's their thing. It has nothing to do with you or me. Whether they want to be fucking stupid. Thank you very much, Lewis. I'm off to bed, Anne. It was great hanging tonight. Great conversations. Thank you. Absolutely. It has been a good one. You have a good night too, okay? Sweet dreams. And thank you for the donation. Did you have green eyes? No, I have blue eyes. My eyes are like a dark blue, kind of like the color of slate. Like dark blue. Yeah, you got to address the underlying pain. Exactly, Lewis. It's not easy, but you got to address the underlying pain and target that. Work on that. Work on your nutrition. Get Eminem said exercise worked for him a lot, and you can only imagine how hard addiction is for people that have money and resources to get it anytime, anywhere, on demand, room service level. Like, people could give you your heroin on a silver platter if you were Prince or whatever, or Eminem. And he quit. Eminem did. And he said exercise really helped him. So, yeah, I mean, it really does. It works to have a plan. It really helps having a plan, having a counselor, you know, being surrounded by people who will support and help you rather than enable you. Exercise, nutrition, get all the colors in your diet, all your micros and macros, all your vitamins. And if you can't find the time to go out and take a jog, get some dumbbells, some weights, and do some pull-ups, and you know, every morning meditate. Meditation's really helpful. And I found weed helped me when I was in my early recovery. It prevented drug dreams, and drug dreams are super, super, super triggering and vivid and difficult to handle when you have them. If you have drug dreams, I would definitely suggest smoking weed. That's the one time I would suggest smoking weed. It prevents drug dreams. And that was really helpful for me. Drug dreams have made me relapse before. What's my favorite hormone? Caffeine. Or no. Caffeine isn't a hormone. What am I talking about? What kind of a question is that? I guess you could say, well, I mean, you never want too much estrogen. Women have a little bit of testosterone too, by the way, to anyone who's just totally uneducated on this matter. I've got 2 X chromosomes. If you were to dig up my body 1,000 years from now, how many times do I have to fucking say this, give this example? If they were to dig up my body 1,000 years from now, they'd be able to discern, archaeologists, by the width of my pelvic bone that I'm a woman. That's all they'd need. They don't have to know my life story to know I'm a woman. They just have to dig up my skeleton. That's all they have to do. I don't even need tits. I don't even need a bum. I need a wide pelvis. Magic. Good Lord. I'm proud of people who can overcome horrible things in addiction. You're stronger than me. I don't know if I'm strong. I've really dealt with difficulty in this, Jaren. It took a while to get to this place. And I think that you just have to want it. You just have to really, really, really want it, and to surrender to recovery and apply yourself to the cure. That's what you have to do. And there are people, even if you don't think so, who rely on you, who root for you, who don't just think that you're a failure and that you're just going to fail. Even if they've never met you yet, there are people out there who will have your back. Even if your family doesn't have your back, there are people out there who want the best for you, who will have your back. We need to make better friends. Do I usually have a good appetite? Yes, I do. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Depends. Did you guys see what I had for dinner? I had something really good. Just leftovers. I made Peruvian beans with like beanie weenies with chicken sausage and peppers and garlic and onion and tomatoes, cherry tomatoes and diced tomatoes. And it was so good. And I had it on rice. And it was just like overflowing my bowl. So yeah, I get enough food. I am pretty behind in the comments here. Absolutely, I see a therapist once a week and she is great. Helps a lot with my problems. Same, once a week. And I need to see my therapist tomorrow morning, actually, such is why I should probably end the live stream soon and get some sleep. But yeah, it is super helpful for me. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Trump is perfect. I'm not pleased with everything he's doing. I think that, you know, the war thing is necessary. I think it's necessary to take out Iran's nuclear weapons because all they talk about is killing Americans and Jews. You know, he hasn't targeted civilians like many other presidents have, like Obama, for instance, and the drone strikes and all that shit. No, he's only targeted their nuclear facilities and the drug traffickers and those terrorists who are shooting commercial vessels. So, you know, there's context to all this. I think he's doing what he has to do. Now with Trump, I'm not pleased with how he's handled the Epstein files. That's something that's ongoing. I'm not happy about that. But I still don't know the whole story either. I see him as a means to a better end. We wouldn't be talking about Epstein files at all if Kamala was here because we know a lot of Democrats are implicated in these files. Trump was mentioned because they tried to blackmail him when he wanted to expose them. There are a lot of people involved, powerful people involved here, you know, CIA, intelligence, you know, government, you know. It's probably over my head and something that I won't understand, and I don't think any of us really will for a while at least. But I'm just glad that he's in because that means Marco Rubio is probably either Marco Rubio or Vance. I'd vote for Marco Rubio next term. I'm really excited to get Marco Rubio in. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, all the parties have really changed quite a bit. Thank you, Tricky, Ricky. Yes, please like and subscribe, guys. My brother is an alcoholic and has been for 40-some years. He finally went to AA meetings and had sponsors who helped when he needed help. You have to want to change. Exactly. Precisely, Biff. Prince had an exceedingly high concentration of the synthetic opioid fentanyl in his system when he died. He died alone in his elevator. Oh, that's so sad, man. One of my favorite music artists of all time. I love Prince. I'm sorry you lost some family members and friends for your opinions. It's admirable that you stood on business. You would be a great friend, and I hope that you are successful. Cool hangs, friend. Thank you, Jared. That means a lot to me. Dolores O'Riordan died in a bathtub also. Strange death. Exactly. She had a ton of alcohol in her system, but I'm beginning to think, with this pattern we're seeing, that this was fed to them to make them compliant, to make them weak, and just completely disassociated from what's going on around them. And then, yeah, I really don't think it's an accident at this point. Too many weird things are coming out. Too many dots create a line on the graph, guys. Are you okay with being a cool person? Thank you, Axon. Yeah, I am a woman. And man, I feel like a woman. Dun dun da 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 da. Oh. Oh yeah, that felt good. Oh, oh. Oh yeah. I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling alright. I'm gonna take the night. Thank you, Lewis. Downtown. Thank your straight parents for being alive. Yeah. Fuck the haters. Thank you, Miz. You have a wonderful night too, Bryant. Oops. You sing great. Oh, thank you. I never thought I could sing, to be very honest. You know, I've never thought I could sing. I never got good feedback for my singing. In fact, I've only been treated like I'm annoying when I try to sing, or just complete awkward, just disregard. So yeah, I don't think I'm that good. But thank you. I don't have the best pitch. I don't have a good range. I think that's what it is. Valiant, I've had a gut feeling for 2 years something is coming. I think these early UFO files are a soft launch. ETs are real and are on planet. Yo, I haven't even been looking into that, to be honest. I should. That's a rabbit hole, if ever there was one. Or a distraction. I don't know. I'll have to look into this. Well, I'll just look at it on my phone later. Oh, and you're a handsome girl. Let's go, go, go. Damn, your voice is legit. Oh, thank you. The best thing about being a woman is just a rockin' and a have a little fun. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your life. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Yep. You didn't mean boy. You're a handsome boy. Let me read that again. You're a handsome boy. Huh. Interesting. I must be dyslexic. Kidding. Thank you. Thank you, Valiant. You didn't mean boy. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's go, 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 go. 'Cause I'm a nice person like that. Okay? I'm very forgiving. And I give people the benefit of the doubt usually. Yeah, just look up UFO files released. 2 batches have been released in the last 2 weeks. Really? Great voice, love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, I'll look into it right now. I did say I was gonna end the live stream around this time, but we're just gonna Google something real quick here. UFO files just released. The U.S. government released its 5th batch of declassified, unidentified, anomalous phenomena, UAP files, on August 7th, 2026. This drop adds 41 new records, including videos, images, and documents dating from 1950 to 2026, under a presidential executive order mandating rolling public disclosures. I'll have to look into this. Who dis? Who was she saying? Oh, where's our volume? Oops. There we go.
Pentagon has just dropped its 5th batch of UFO files. This time there is actual never-before-seen footage. Yes, 41 new files dropped this week. Videos, images, and documents spanning from 1953 all the way to this year. So what's in them? Well, a dark orb moving in irregular patterns over the Gulf of Oman, a black sphere hovering over the Pacific. It appears to
a black sphere.
A round object traveling in a straight line over a residential area somewhere in the Middle East. And a 1953 naval document concluding that objects filmed over Montana and Utah were, and this is the official language, inconsistent with those of natural.
What the fuck?
The 5th release since Trump signed an executive order demanding declassification earlier this year. The Pentagon has now released hundreds of files and promises more are coming on a rolling basis.
This is crazy.
Now, none of this actually proves aliens.
I'll give you one thing, guys. At least with Trump, we're never bored. Definitely nice voice. Mine sounds like gravel rolling downhill in an old drum. I mean, yo, you can work with that. What about Tom Waits? I love Tom Waits. He had a great voice when he was younger, though, man. Like in the 70s, that's when I think he had the best music. Short hair, don't care. That's right. They have admitted the UFOs are real. That's crazy. That is crazy. I have shaved my head before. I gave myself a full buzz. It was super convenient. Just take a buzzer and bzz, bzz. Actually, I like this on me, man. I want it to look, you know, I don't want to look too, I don't want to, you know. I think it looks good on me. It doesn't make me look like a man when I have a buzzed head. But I prefer this. I prefer this. Okay, guys, let's, we're going to end the live stream soon. So we're going to read a few Bible verses before we end it, okay? Short hair is beautiful. Thank you. I like women with short hair. Looks good. Thank you very much. Darren is triggered. Okay, I'm going to read the Bible and make Darren triggered and angry. Unless he wants to stay here. I mean, unless he wants to leave. Anywho, we're going to read the last chapter of Proverbs. We've read that through Proverbs chronologically. Proverbs are great. So I'm going to read one chapter of Proverbs, and I keep forgetting to search for my glasses again. Sucks. It's either, you know, it might be in my fucking drawer somewhere. It's either that or it's with my dolls somewhere. I'm not sure what happened to my glasses. Oh, I found them! Okay, yes! I found them in my drawer. It was so easy. Lens wipes. This will make it a lot easier when I'm tired to be able to read without straining. Ugh. It's because I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting old and I need somewhere to begin. And if you had a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything, so why don't we go somewhere only we know? You know, I don't like that kind of talk on my channel. Bye-bye. I'm all about free speech, but I'm not all about people going around saying that Satan is... No. Anywho. Proverbs, chapter 31. Okay? The words of Lemuel. Okay? Proverbs chapter 31. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa, which his mother taught him. What, my son? What, son of my womb? What, son of my vows? Give not your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. Excuse me. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire strong drink, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and pervert the rights of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more. Open your mouth for the dumb, for the rights of all who are left desolate. Open your mouth, judge righteously, maintain the rights of the poor and needy. A good wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and does not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and tasks for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household. For all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes herself coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and delivers girdles to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. I like that one. I like that a lot. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Amen. Oh, this is a good one. Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 11. Verse 11. Then I considered all that my hands had done, and the toil I had spent in doing it. And behold, all was vanity and striving after wind, and there was nothing to be gained under the sun. Wow, that's a really good one. They don't mean it like that, Romans. That's fucking stupid. Men didn't cut their hair back then either. Men had long hair too. And they wore robes as well. Men didn't wear pants either at one point. It's different. Doesn't have, good God. Take everything so literally. He wasn't talking to all women around the world. Don't cut your hair. I know, right? I'll look something up. Does the Bible forbid women from cutting their hair? Yeah, the Bible does not contain a direct universal command forbidding women from cutting their hair. The primary passage people reference is First Book of Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14 to 15, which states that long hair is a glory to a woman, while verse 6 notes that having shaved or shorn hair is disgraceful. The Apostle Paul writes about women praying or prophesizing. He states that a woman dishonors her head if she does so with her He states that a woman dishonors her head if she does so with her head uncovered. He's talking about her praying, equating a bare head to having her hair cut short or shaved off. So a lot of women wore mantles or mantillas or veils as a sign of modesty back then. That's different. Verse 15 adds that long hair is given to a woman as a natural covering. Yeah, all women were required to cover their heads back then. That's not the same thing. And in fact, most men see long hair as a symbol of sensuality. In fact, it's less modest for a lot of people. Anywho. Freaking stupid. Why don't we just... Here's a good one. Matthew chapter 5, verse 11. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so men persecuted the prophets who were before you. That one is applicable to Trump. He should read that one. Anywho, Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Here's a good one. Matthew chapter 5 verse... Is that chapter 5? Yeah. Chapter 5, verse 5. Chapter 6, right there, verse 5. And when you pray, ye must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in their synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. So yeah, a lot of people only do good if other people see them do good. Don't be like that. Like, I do dishes first thing in the morning. I don't do them only when people are seeing, oh, she's good, slaving away in there. We better all take notice. No. I do it because it needs to be done. Because it's a duty. That's how we should operate, with integrity. Not trying to please other people and kiss ass. Anywho, let's continue. Read a few more of these, and then we'll be done. I'll just read one more. Luke chapter 12, verse 22, all the way down to 35. This is one of my favorites. In fact, the ones I really like, I give it like a bunch of stars, like 1, 2, 3. Usually it's 1 star, but that one I really liked. And he said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you shall eat, nor about your body, what you shall put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens, they never sow nor reap, they have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a cubit to his span of life? If then you are not able to do as small a thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all of his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass which is alive in the field today, and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O men of little faith? And do not seek what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be of anxious mind. For all the nations of the world seek these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Indeed, seek his kingdom, and these things will be yours as well. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give alms. Provide yourselves with purses that do not grow old, with treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. It's a good one. One more. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 14 to 16. So that we may no longer be children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the cunning of men, by their craftiness and deceitful wiles. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into him who is the head, into Christ, from whom the whole body, joined and knit together by every joint with which it is supplied, when each part is working properly, makes bodily growth and up builds itself in love. Beautiful. Lovely. Did I just drop my bookmark? Thought I just saw my bookmark down here. Oh. Oh no. I'll find it. Don't like wasting these lens wipes. Well, I guess I'll just use that for something else. All right, guys. Oh, that was good. It's 11:20 right now. What are you gonna have for breakfast, Chill? You're gonna hang your washing out and get food? That sounds good. What are you gonna have for breakfast? I usually have my cream of wheat with frozen berries thawed out, pecans, chia pudding, hemp seeds, chopped up prunes. It's so freaking good. And shredded unsweetened coconut. And I sweeten my cream of wheat with stevia, and I cook it with let's see. So it's like 2 cups of liquid. It is 1.5 cups of milk and half a cup of water. Whole milk, by the way. Get all those good nutrients. Just wash that, I guess. Oops. Uh-oh. Don't want to do that now. Whoa, why do we do that? Go away. There we go. Ooh, beans on toast is good. I've been having beans all week practically because I made such a big Dutch oven full of delicious Peruvian beans. Psalms chapter 18, verse 21. Okay, one more. If someone gives me a suggestion, I'll read one more. Psalms chapter 18, verse 21. Let's do it. Oh, we landed right there. Verse 21. Chapter 18, 21. Actually, it's just one page before that. There we go. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. There you go. Amen. Yeah, the Psalms are good. You can read Psalms chronologically next time. Oh, trust me, I cannot do a backflip. There's no way. I couldn't even do that when I was a kid. I was too chicken shit. I couldn't even do a cartwheel. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. What Bible do I have, Tiana? I have the Ignatius version. I'm Catholic. All right. Well, yeah, one should not fuck with that guy. He's very, he's clever. That's, you know, the worst evil people are the clever ones. Or, you know, the evil ones. Anyway. Much love. Hope you guys have a good one, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, as long as we respect each other's beliefs, that's fine. That's fine. You know? To each their own, right? Just gotta... That's how we're gonna get along as a civilization and society, so if we can learn to agree to disagree on things. But you know, not cancel each other and try to disrupt or destroy, eliminate free speech because we get offended. It's really true bad that they murdered Anne Widdecombe. And I think they did that to her because in the UK, having free speech apparently it's a crime to speak your mind on social media there. And, you know, she spoke up against that and all that. And next thing you know, this good, sweet old lady gets hammered, beaten, bludgeoned to death. I think it was politically motivated. A lot of them are, you know, a lot of these radicals are trying to kill off conservatives or rock stars, and it's sick. Anyway, yeah, it is BS, 100%. This is what she said, guys. Here's the woman they killed. Let me show you. Ooh, shit, why did that get so big like that? Oh, weird. Why is it doing that? Oh, there, go away. There we go. Okay. Oh my god, why is it doing this now? Go away. Okay. Weird. I'll show you Anne Widdecombe. Oh, the hunt for the Widdecombe killer. This was 1 month ago. Anne Widdecombe's death, police hunt for killer continues after suspect released. What the hell? I'll have to look into that. See what the fuck is going on. Yeah. Here's what she's very famous for in the US at least.
Nobody has the right to live their lives being protected from offence or from insult or from hurt feelings. It is an occupational hazard of living in society. And if you really can't take it, become a hermit.
Precisely. Fucking, oops. Precisely, guys.
Has the right to live their lives.
Exactly. And they killed her. I'm worried about Nick Shirley. I'm worried about our other rock stars we got up there telling the truth. Because they don't want the truth. It's a threat to them. In fact, us telling the truth to them, to these radicals, trying to ruin our Western civilization and, you know, fuck us over. you know, steal from us and all that. You know what? Us telling the truth to them is worse than us killing one of theirs to get back at them. So yeah, we got to stand with these people and tell the truth, because we've had enough of it. Drug overdoses are down by nearly half since 2023. We have to celebrate. That's not surprising to me. Trump has really been, he's been cracking down on this bullshit. And, Biden just made it so many drug traffickers and illegals coming into our country. That's why we had such a opioid crisis for a while there. Because of Biden. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree, Austin. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it with politics for sure, or the news in general. It can make one a little angry. It's a pixie cut. It's cute. Looks especially pretty when she does her eye makeup glamorous. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really liked my eye makeup I wore before. It's just that it's a little late in the day. It's kind of expensive for me to just wipe it off. But yeah. Thank you. The homicide rate is lowest it's ever been in over 100 years. And yeah, there are still things going on, but we're catching it now. Exactly. Precisely. People expect instant results, instant gratification, instant this. And people just can't be patient these days, man. I'm so glad I was homeschooled in that sense. I'm able to think outside the box and take it for what it is. It's like, yeah, I can wait. I don't expect for things to be perfect right away. As long as our children, women and children are okay, and white men especially aren't being demonized, and Trump's making everybody's lives a little bit safer, a little bit easier to manage in terms of just the economy. And it's not perfect, but it's a process that you're just gonna have to wait it out. I don't expect for it to just be instant fix, that just doesn't seem realistic. I couldn't even imagine being able to fix such a big issue like that, especially after Biden fucked it up so much. All right, guys. But I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Much love. Bye-bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe, too.